And
There's
then
the Sawyer Brown.
hey guys. Hey, hello Wax Boss. I see she must I don't see what Loretta said. Okay, so it's gonna be a bit of a challenge to keep up with the chat and do what we need to do, but we are outside.
We're not selfie sticking it.
Yeah, we're not very good at that. There's Sawyer. And we're out here. So we have, and I'll show them again. So if people come in a second, that is our, you'll have to make sure I got it in the frame.
The loon is here.
Hold on, maybe I could turn it around. Let me turn it around. There we go. Okay, so this is our Brahma. 2 Americanas, the two other ones. Sawyer has to always be like in the middle of everything. But so there's the Brahma, the Americana, the other Americana, and you know who that is. Who's that? Tiny. Tiny.
Come here, Tiny.
He's like, no way.
He's like, I'm not supposed to be on camera.
Look at him. He's like, no way. That's Tiny.
Go that way.
Look at him. So I know
like,
this
no,
is
no,
our garden stuff. We keep it behind the deck because that's the best place to put it. So all of this that you can see, let me zoom out a little bit. This is all the same lot, all of it. So we have the shed over there to that part, and then we have the hay. When we change it, we put the hay down there.
Hey, 2 old birds.
I'm glad you keep. Oh yeah, you do the chat. That will work if you keep up with the chat.
I'll keep up with the chat. I'm over here with the other phone.
Okay, so then I'm gonna let the babies out. So what these are, they're black sex links.
Hey, Yorkshire Rose.
These are actually from Tractor Supply. Right now they have like none at Tractor Supply, but these were from there. How old are they now, Sean? We got them right before we went to Colorado.
We left on the
got my boots
30th, on the 26th, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna let them out. This is the secondary chicken coop.
6 weeks? 5 weeks.
5 weeks, okay.
You want me to open it up?
Hold on one second. And the pallets, we did 4 pallets side by side and then screwed plywood into the floor of it. Like, I'm trying to see if I can show you. Okay, here's a spot where it got done. Right there, if you see that screw, that's what we did. We screwed it into the pallets. And this one we use for babies and for the silkies because there's a hutch up there. So when we're out, we let them out.
Come on, guys.
And do you know that you can't hashtag black sex link because YouTube says it's dirty? I'm like, it's really not dirty. Let me get this.
You're not too scared, you see?
So we built that little...
They think there's food, so.
And they forage with the other ones. So there's 4 of those. They're all females. And
So then the other big ones are right around the corner kind of watching.
if they go too far out, these ladies will, hey Wax Boss, will come and kind of get them in line to not go out. But if they still are being stubborn, old Tiny steps in. And when Tiny steps in, it's serious. So I'm gonna let you hear this noise. Do you hear that? Those are our silkies and they're broody.
They're very broody right now. Hey, baby.
Hold on, let me show. Now y'all listen to this. Hey you. Hey. You sound like a cat. What are you doing? Touch the black one.
There's no egg under there.
So these do not ever lay fertilized eggs because Tiny, they don't like Tiny. I wonder if I can turn it back for a second. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'll show it again. So just 1 second. So Tiny does not get with them. They do not want, they don't want him. They are happy to sit on eggs and to watch the babies, but they do not want anything to do with Tiny. So their eggs are never fertilized, like never ever fertilized. So this is the inside of it. We've showed this before in pictures, but that's the roost.
Like
Then
you
you-
said, the silkies are the oldest birds that we have.
Right.
And you see when I clean this, this is where they roost.
And you can even lift that up. My dad jokes and says that, and today, actually tomorrow's cleaning day, so it'll be better. But my
Yeah, but
dad
every
says,
other day I come through and I just clean out this, and the rest of it they don't normally use unless they're, and then I take the hay from over here and I replace what I clean. It stays clean all the time.
and this, so that's pellets. Pellets are like protein based, right, Sean?
Yeah.
So they
all protein.
forage and they do scratch grains and things like that. But we have the pellets in there so that they get enough of that. I hope, is Stitching in here? Hey, Jocelyn. It's good to see all you. Thank you. Do you like the silkies are total bitches. We call them
They're not always like
they're
that, though.
divas is what they are.
Yeah, they're not always like that, but they are today.
But if you walk past and they're not wanting to hang out with you, that's exactly what they do. And they literally sound like cats fighting. Like that's what they
No,
sound like.
Wax Boss, they don't eat hay, but they bed in it. They sleep in it. They make their nests out of it. She asked if they eat the hay.
The Timothy hay, the Brahma does.
Sometimes they do, but it's not their main diet. Their main diet is that.
Yeah, and they do eat it. This is the infamous garden that everybody's talking about, everybody's gardens. But I bought that. There's a critter rid. The best thing that we found, sorry, I'm not used to that. The best thing that we found to keep the chickens and things out of the flower bed, because I didn't want to put chicken wire around it because that just doesn't look good. It's like a coarse ground brown black pepper mix called critter rid. And when you put it, hold on, let me turn it back around again. I put it right here around it and they don't come near it. What happened though, eventually it washed off and they started trying it again. And if you can see, the Brahma's the one that does most of it. So anyway, it's all natural, but they don't like the smell of it. And we've got to put it back there again. So hold on one second.
They're trying to catch some shade over here.
What is the temperature today? So there is,
Those are the three big girls in the rooster.
they've learned how to like,
He'll jump up in here if I open this.
yeah, you can, this is
This is where the silkies sleep and the babies sleep.
so at night, because it was cool for a while, we would put the silkies in there and the babies learned how to run up that little ramp and then they would stay warm together. But the second we let the silkies out, they run to go get in that nesting box in the mornings. So it's like a careful dance.
The spiders are not back. I'm reading the chat. They're
Oh,
they're
nice.
not back yet.
I hope it wasn't too wet this past winter. You know what I mean? Like, so I love this window. This is like their Alcatraz window where you can say hi to them and I love it. I'm going to show, you can hear them right now. Listen.
Stitching girl, she said hello, I was listening.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so she's listening.
Listen, nobody's even messing with them. Why are you all screaming?
Watch when I open from here. Listen. Just go right.
Okay. That's not even loud for them.
I took the eggs out earlier today.
So these
I
are,
should've waited until
for people that know, like, they're like, some people may be like, who cares? But some people may care. These are solar powered, like, they're only really for looks because they're not that bright. But they're from Tractor Supply. There's one there, and one up there. And then we have those party light things on it. Those are the lights at night. And I'm going to put a picture up later. So these, when the babies come out, those guys will run in and whatever the babies haven't scratched and gotten, they'll run in and get them. And when they're doing that, the babies are not invited into they will tell them to get out.
But I'm surprised. See, Tiny went up there, babe. He's up there.
Is he in the top?
Goes up there as soon as you.
So this is where they dust bathe. If you don't know, chickens will, you can buy it too to add to it, but they'll sit here and I'll let Sean explain it.
I'll get it. I'll get some of it. It's right here.
That's how they keep like parasites and things off of them. In fact, these two might do it in a second. That's like the mix. And that, as long as it doesn't rain, they'll use that for at least a week or so. And they'll come and they roll around in it, and it's supposed to help with like parasites, and that's literally how they bathe. I'm hoping they come over so you can see them.
The Brahma's coming.
Yeah, she'll come.
Listen to them.
They're mad. Who are they mad at?
The Brahma will come. She'll come over and do it. There she goes.
Look at the babies. The babies are like,
Our dust bather is the Brahma. She likes to. She might perform for us here, and
she's not. Apparently, she's not interested right now. They're brats. Okay, I'm gonna show you Tiny back over here.
He's already jumped down.
Oh, he's already gotten down?
Yeah, he's already down.
Tiny.
Can you go back up here, buddy?
Tiny. So there is an entire hill. If you look, it goes all the way down. So they'll forage on this slope. And, oh, that right there. So I did a test. You know how you can put leaves in those compost bags and stuff? Well, I thought I wanted to test one bag and see how long it turned. This was from the fall. How long it took to turn to
compost.
It didn't. It's not. It's still there. So that didn't work. We've got to find a place to take them next year.
We went down there about a week ago in the woods, and
did the trash.
The last occupants loved Bud Light, so there was probably 40 or 50 Bud Light cans down there that we.
And there were some other cans that had been turned into some smoking apparatuses. There must have been some teenagers down there. But yeah, you'll see them. They go all the way down into there. The babies don't go anywhere near there right now. If they even try, they'll chase them back up. So this is kind of like the back view of the second coop, and then you can see that one. And then we do have a deck right here. I got a couple projects that I've got going on. I need to spray paint this, and I already got the spray paint. And then this is 3 bags of Miracle Grow. And you know why I got 5 bags? Because they were on sale.
She was only supposed to get 2.
And so now I have 5.
And then there's 3 left.
I don't know why I got 5, but they were on sale. I want to show, we're going to also show the nursery inside. But this is, so we found out that this is actually 2 lots. When they originally put our house on it, the person bought the lot next to it as well. So of course we rent, but now there's 2, you have all of this space too, and we confirmed it with the landlord. So there's that. Our neighbors giving us some empty egg cartons back. We deliver eggs when they're not hatching them because it keeps the neighbors happy, because our chickens will go just visit anybody. Doesn't matter who, they'll visit anybody. So we got a pretty cool neighborhood. Then the spiders aren't here yet, but I was gonna show you what they're used to going for in the other, when they're not around. I don't see any though. If I move a paving stone or something, they come running because they know there's things under it. So it's a pretty sweet life, I think, for a chicken. Now, this is what I think. Hey, Jojo, and someone can probably help. Tiny's not mean, Wax Boss. Tiny is a lover, not a fighter. I don't know how much he could. Oh, she brought those back?
So the neighbor brought these back.
That's what I was telling him that.
And we were like,
we have the...
Unless you want to end up on a live stream and get dragged by people that don't like us. He was like, no.
Did you really say that?
No.
Oh.
I said that you were on a live stream.
So anyway, what we do think, though, when it's super wet down there, I wonder if when chickens are not raised on our property, I wonder if there's not something like mold or mildew-wise that they get into, and if they're not used to it.
They're performing for us nice though right now.
Yeah,
Aren't
they'll stay right. They know we're here,
Yeah.
so they'll stick around. But when we go the other direction, so I'm trying to catch up on questions.
they? Okay, that was my
It'll take
job.
forever. You need to keep. Okay, the leaves are like turn. Okay,
You need to
yeah,
keep turning leaves
love
over,
it.
yeah.
Redneck ingenuity making smoking apparatus. I was like, Sean, what is this? And I held it up. He goes, you know what that's for? And I said, what? And he said, it's to smoke. Like it's a little homemade bong.
Yeah. Jude's here. She said, hey, y'all, I'm sorry I'm late. You're never late.
No, you'll never late.
JoJo's here.
We have, I'm going to try to see, let's see if I can, just for a second. You know, I don't have any idea how to like pause I'm going to turn it around to me. Now, is there anything out here? I think you've pretty much seen it all. I'm going to show you inside kind of what we do on the inside.
Okay.
But keep in mind, it's a weekend project or whatever, so it's not perfect. But I'm gonna show you.
Back in, or you guys staying out?
They're like, we're doing whatever we want.
Do whatever you want to do, huh?
Let me turn that. They want to go in. Look. You're okay.
Hey.
You're okay. That's one of the babies. So the black sex links, which is what those are a combination of barred rock chicken and
Rhode Island Red.
Rhode Island Red. Now Tiny is a Rhode Island Red. We don't have a barred rock. Hey Hope, we don't have the barred rock. Isn't that the black speckly one? Like some of this coloring around their necks. They think everything is, everything's new. They chase leaves. They love it. Aren't they? I think they're so cute.
But someone was asking if Tiny's mean, because there are a lot of mean roosters.
Yeah, that's what I
He's not a
said.
mean rooster at all.
I was like, he can make many babies, but he's not.
He could be mean, though.
But he's really not. Look. Hopefully he did. Now, hopefully you won't get a show. The time when he decides to make babies is usually at dusk, right?
Yeah, he'll
get with all of them.
And he just flapped his wings to say, "You damn right."
We don't have problems though, because I think when the animals see how big he is, that helps to deter it. We haven't.
I mean, we even had like the Amazon man or the UPS man like drop off packages and go, whoa.
Yeah, they're scared of him.
There's a big old rooster, and you're like, he's okay. He's not going to hurt you.
No.
But some roosters do. Some roosters go after people. So.
Sorry. So that is that. Now we're gonna show you the little nursery. It's good to see all of you. Hey, Yorkshire Rose, how are you, girl? Your stream was fantastic. I shared it. Y'all have to catch it on the replay. Let me turn this around. There's no way, I don't know how to turn like the camera off, so I'm gonna put it this way. So we don't like, oh, there's my rose bushes. Yorkshire Rose, they're not doing great right now. I showed them a few days ago. They were in full bloom. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong with them. I mean, some of them are still real pretty. I guess this is just how they bloom and how they fall off. But these were already here when we moved in.
Did they see the courtyard?
Oh yeah, did I show that? This is, so you guys remember, hand raised, oh, yeah, our pets are totally cool with them. That's really cool though, JoJo.
I see it.
No, where's?
He's in.
Okay, cool.
I put him in.
I was like, hopefully we got
He went next door with the neighbors.
Did he really?
He was going back over.
Sawyer loves our neighbors. So this right here, I'll wash it out tonight. I wash it out about every night. I built that little rickety dickety cover over there. It's actually in quick set concrete. Those legs are, so they love it. It's a little wobbly, but they love it. They love rocking back and forth on it, and but I wash it off every night.
See the bottom here? Mandi did all of this on the bottom, and it's up off the ground about 3 inches, but she went and put this
Thank
lattice,
you.
this plastic lattice all the way around.
So they couldn't get
So,
out.
See, the babies are on the backside right now. They kind of hang out with us. And in about a week or so, they will come inside here. And then the newer ones that we decide to keep will go into the nursery.
And they learn where to go pretty quick. It was always wet on the ground there. So I made like a French drain of sorts. My father-in-law helped me. He's an engineer, so he told me how to do it. And then we put the paving stones in there so we can wash them off easily.
So like from here to here, she dug down about a foot and put the pipe in there with holes in the top and then covered it so it'll naturally drain down into the ground and into the pipe, and it disperses
that way. Yeah,
underground, and it keeps it real dry.
That was one of the things we were concerned was hurting the when we had those problems with the chickens. That's their little ramp from the courtyard, and then you guys know about that. We, like I said, we pay a mortgage on our chicken coop. It is, don't we, Sean?
Yeah, we do.
We it's a rent to own thing. So when we got it, it's now doubled in price since the price of like wood and stuff has gone up. It's doubled in price. So we got in when it was still good.
So it's actually an investment.
It really is. Yeah. And it can be taken with us. It can be taken with us when we go. So there is, so let me turn it around. What I'm showing you now is where the little bitty babies that are hatching are. Hey guys, I'm probably gonna turn their lamp off just for a second so you can see them without the red glare. So this is, it's called a brooder, but only because that's what any receptacle, right? Like that's just, but it's a huge, big watering, a watering thing we use it though for this. So right now there's 10 babies. They love this baseball thing. They love hiding in that. It's supposed to go on the wall, but it doesn't. They are all the same. The Brahma, remember the big yellow one we showed you? That's a Brahma baby right there. Fronto, let me find Fronto. Fronto is right there. That's Jocelyn's namesake right there. So 2 Brahma babies.
Look at him.
That is an Americana Rhode Island red right there, but he's lighter for some reason. And we know how to tell the difference. You either have to sex them right when they're born for their gender, or you have to wait until they're about a week old?
Yeah. And
then you can tell by their wings. The big, pretty overlapping wings are hens, and then the short, stubby ones are the roosters. They love it. They got lots of space. So, and then they have little perches. And then we keep a tarp under it and keep it like super clean. This right here is
famous girl. Josh is in the chat.
I know. This is
famous girl. Yep, that's the famous chicken.
That's like the heat lamp. So we do that. And then we keep a sheet over the guest bedroom bed, but nobody ever really sleeps in it anyway. But we've got like blankets and stuff, but we keep a sheet over it just so when it comes time to use it as a guest bedroom, it's easy. So these containers are from Walmart. Each one of them have a heating pad in it. Let me show you. There's nothing in it right now, but when they're first born, and I should have done it reverse. I should have showed the incubator first, but this is just a little stuffed animal. But there's a heating pad that we can wipe off and clean. And then the bedding, and then we put their water in there and keep the heating pad on low. So this one, they snuggle with the side of it. And the newborns like the lid on it just because it makes them feel more secure. But then this This one has the heating pad underneath the bedding. And they just moved into the bigger brooder, so I have to clean it out. Like they literally went today. But this one has a heat lamp too. We don't need it right now. It's too warm for that. It's good to see you, Mama Ricky. It's a lifestyle stream for chickens.
Yes.
So these are the incubators. Right now we have some that are due on the 28th, the 30th, and none on the 29th, right?
We got a couple that are the 29th, but the date they're due is on the outside. It doesn't affect anything, and that way we can keep track. When they're within 3 or 4 days of hatching, we pull them out of the egg turner and into this incubator. So they're close. These eggs here, if they're gonna hatch, they're within the next 4 days or so, they'll hatch. The light colored eggs are the Americana mixes, and the darker ones are the Brahma mixes.
We have less luck with the Brahmas hatching. Tiny doesn't get with the Brahma quite as often as he does the other ones, but as you saw, there were a couple of them in there that are lighter. So this is an incubator. How much was this? 69.
What's that?
How much was this one? $50, $60.
It's about
not a lot.
$60, and then there's an accessory in the other one.
And then the other one got an egg turner in it. It's not fast at all, but this one actually rotates the eggs back and forth.
These are the ones that we got from Karen right here.
The dates that are written on the eggs are written on there with a egg-friendly pin that I got off of Amazon. So they're not...
But the ones that are not dated...
Those are the ones that Karen... I don't know if Karen's in here. I think she's busy, but...
Look at that egg. That's
look how big that is. Those are the ones that Karen sent us, and they're due on the 3rd. So
they'll come out on the 3rd, you mean? So they're due on about the 7th.
No, these are the date they're due. That's the 21 days.
That's right.
So then within it, like he was saying, a few days before they're due, we move them into this one for when they hatch.
This turner here that is in here, it's an accessory that goes with these, and over the course of 4 hours, it rocks them one way and then rocks them back another way. And that's so that the embryo doesn't settle and stick to one side, and it just greatly increases the chance of these hatching.
Right.
Because if we didn't have one of these, every 4 to 6 hours we'd have to come in and turn them all. This does it for us. Yeah. And then the last 4 days, they don't need to be turned; they get put over there.
And each of them weigh 1 a day. None of these are silky eggs, obviously; those are smaller. But 2 Americana.
I'll get the silky egg and show them.
Okay, 2 Americana eggs and 1 Brahma egg. So. But here's the other secret to it that some people don't know. So if you take it out of the nesting box outside, right, and then you set it inside, oh, there's something in my eye. And Sean and I have discussed this because I don't know how much I believe totally that's the truth, but they start, cooking like to turn into babies when they go into the incubator. So even if they've sat for a couple of days, not in the fridge by any means, but if they've sat on the counter, then if we get, 6 together in 2 days, then it's 21 days from the day we put them in the incubator.
They get activated. And that's normally when they get like 98 degrees.
Does that make sense, you guys?
But this is the silky egg.
Okay, it's good to see you, Mama Ricky.
That's the difference in size. This is the little silky eggs, and this is...
I'm glad that people are learning. I had no idea. We had no, okay, so the silky egg...
What is this one? Can you see it in there?
I'm trying to, oh yeah, show it next to, okay, so this is a Brahma egg. That's a full-size egg. This one right here...
is a silky egg. These two both are.
So we cook with those because they're never, ever...
They're not fertilized. We tried. Mm-hmm. We didn't know. Because we've seen a couple roosters try to get with the silkies before, but they don't like it. They're bitches. They're very frigid. So
I know. And then when we got Motley, remember the little gray silky that was supposed to mate with them? He went and joined the flock behind us. That's happened to us a couple of times. They have chickens just on the other side of those woods. They have chickens, and every once in a while we've got one that goes and joins theirs. I guess they like it better. It's never been the opposite where they come join ours. But some of our chickens go to theirs. So I'm like, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much, I'm gonna turn your light back on. It doesn't get super hot. The good thing about having like two sides is, hold on, I'm gonna do this real quick, is that, there we go. They can get out of the heat lamp if they don't want it, but we monitor the temperature. There we go. And it kind of distorts the light. That's the problem too.
Did you see the question about how to tell if they're fertilized?
Yeah, there's a way to do it, but we're not good at it.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to candle them, which means hold them up.
You're okay.
With a candle light behind it, and you're supposed to be able to see a little dark spot in the middle, which shows that they're fertilized. We're not real good at it. Not every one of those eggs in the incubator will develop. They don't all, but we're doing pretty good. We're at about 2/3 that we've been getting, which is good for us.
They have right now at Tractor Supply, and I don't know about your Tractor Supplies where you are, but they're not getting baby chicks in. They're just not. They're not.
And no one's buying the ducks.
The ducks are about ready to go to college in their tubs or whatever.
The ducks are already laying their own eggs and stuff.
He's joking, but they are getting old. So we do it to help out the other yuppie chicken people in the area.
Yeah.
And we charge minimum, and literally with that we just put it back into the and that's what we do. Also, you guys know that when you guys,
I mean, nationwide there's a chicken shortage. There was a bad go with avian flu and all that last year. It seems to be subsiding, but you still have to produce more chickens. Tractor Supply and all the places that sell them, or the places that you can order them online, they can't fill the orders. So we're having fun by hatching them ourselves, and just, for a small donation, we say, and people get it.
It's really hardly.
Yeah, we will give them these chicks.
Except for Fronto and that little bitty Brahma baby. That one we're keeping. The
two Brahma babies we're going to try to keep. We're going to keep. So.
And y'all, it's hilarious. Jocelyn says that she has seen a Gucci chicken sweater.
Yeah.
So apparently, I think are going to have bougie. That one is going to be our bougie chick. So yeah, the ones that you saw outside, I know I'm just like, the black sex links, those we did not hatch. We did get those from Tractor Supply.
And we kind of have an inside line, because Tractor Supply, the ones they order come into the post office first, so I kind of know about them. And so when they come in, I can be like, hey, Mandi, go get them.
And we have, you guys, I don't know, this is we've said this, but it is still legal and acceptable. I'm trying to get us both in it. To send live chicks through the postal system.
Yeah. I don't really like it.
They're literally hatched. They put them in the box with some crumble. There is no whatever. And as long as everything is on target, they get there the next day, and then Tractor Supply or whoever it is picks them up, and then but it's mail at the end of the day. And if it gets lost and takes a couple of extra days to get there, it's bad.
They don't do well. So, and if there's a problem, like there's a problem with the phone number, I mean, there's a box of chickens for someone to pick up. So luckily for my post office, I take care of them. So I have brought my brooder. I take this brooder straight into because it's illegal. They can't leave the post office because it's not my mail.
It's mail. They're considered mail.
So it's illegal for me to take somebody else's mail. But I can bring the brooder into the post office, and I'll take care of them until the owners get there. As a matter of fact, yesterday we had an order that came in, and the order was, Mandi will tell you, they were literally like 4 doors down on the other street from here. They're not. We don't really know these neighbors because they're a street over, but it's like four doors down on the other street. I would have just brought them the chickens.
Yeah.
I would just brought them to them, but they came and got them.
That one that's fallen asleep in the ball.
He's been doing that.
Is he tired?
I hope he's okay. I think he is. Let's see.
If not, we'll put him back in the newborn nursery or whatever. That's the other thing. So we give them, I don't have it in here, but This water I keep, I make it several times a day. It's got hydrogen in it, which is something that's really good for them. It's like a Gatorade for chickens, and it's got probiotic in it. And then, so when I dump their water out, I make sure it stays clean or what have you. So like when it gets bedding in it, I'll take it and dump the top off into a bucket to keep it clean, and it looks like I need to do it again. Look, when you feed them, they're like, they've got so much crumble in there, but I want y'all to see.
Come over and get it.
And it's like one's got to trust it before they all trust it.
You can tell the two that are a little older, those two bigger ones, they're probably about 4 or 5 days older than the other ones.
Yeah. You'll be happy to know, Jocelyn, Fronto is like the boss. It'll go buck up to other chickens. Yeah, it will. And it's a girl.
Right there in the corner. Here she comes around the corner.
She's coming around the corner. She's like, let me go get this under control. So even though it looks like they're chaotic and there's too many of them, it is, Dad said give him a call. It is, they got lots of room. So these pretty much have been selected by someone.
Yeah.
So they'll come grab them tomorrow. There's 2 different people. We do the same rule that Tractor Supply does. If they don't already have, they have to take at least 2 if they already have chickens, and it's 4 if they're just getting started, because they need the warmth of each other. So that's what Tractor Supply does, and it is a good idea. So
Yep.
that is
the most important things with baby chickens is warmth, even before food.
Yes.
They can go their first 48 hours without eating, but they have to be warm. They have to stay warm. That's the biggest thing. And when they're born in the wild, mama sits on them, so they stay plenty warm. But that's so you need to get it. We had the 2 together before the rest were born, and the 2, they just kind of snuggled up and they stayed under the light. But if you get 3 or 4 baby chicks together, the warmth of each other is enough.
And it's adorable when they snuggle together. Yeah. So that's kind of what that looks like.
Yes.
I'm glad we got to show you. And it's always changing for us. Like, we're always like modifying or changing, but this is we're out playing with the chicken. When he comes home from work, we go out and we play with the chicken.
The first thing we do, it's like people come home and they play with their kids. The first thing we do is she'll have dinner on, unless dinner's ready, and then we eat, and then we go right. It doesn't in the winter, it was kind of sucked because it would be dark before I got home. And as soon as it gets dark, they go to sleep. But it's not getting dark now until about 8:30. If I get home at 6, we spend about 45 minutes out there, cleaning the coop and talking to them, and they're our pets.
Yeah. And Ellie is great with them. Not only is Ellie great with them, Ellie, they have a system. Ellie will sit out there and watch. Ellie does not like any other cats on our property, and she chases them off just because she's territorial in general. But Tiny really kind of relies on Sawyer and Ellie. We keep one window like low to the ground. We keep it up a little bit. When Sawyer sees something, like a dog, most of the time it's dogs we already know that aren't going to do anything on leashes, but he barks. And when he starts barking, Tiny starts making his noise and the hens go and hide.
Right.
So it really is a good system, because Tiny knows if Sawyer's barking, he sees something.
And Waxbox asks, do you hear them at night? When it gets dark, like if we shut all the lights out in here, covered up the curtains, they go right to sleep. And that's the thing about them. The term, they go home to roost. It's going to come home to roost. The chick, they do. They can be wherever. And when it starts to get dark, they all go to the chicken coop. We don't have to do it. And they go to sleep. And one of the reasons is chickens cannot see it in the dark at all. They're completely defenseless. So that's why it's real important with your chicken coop that you seal it off from predators and they cannot get them.
Yeah.
Because a predator will go in and grab a bird and you won't even hear it struggle. They'll just, because it can't see and it doesn't know what's going on.
And we haven't had that happen.
No.
Mainly because they're shut.
But to say, do we hear them at night? The only time we hear them at night.
When do you hear Tiny, Sean?
Well, as soon as I get up, as soon as he knows I'm up, he starts cock-a-doodle-doing.
We call it Tiny starts his bullshit.
But when they're brand new and we have the heat lamp on, they still they sleep and they stay awake. So we may hear them in the middle of the night because there's light. But if we shut all the light out, they go to sleep. The only ones you may hear they start chirping when they're hatching. You'll hear them then. That's how we know when the new ones are hatching at night, because you'll hear that. But no, they're quiet at night. They don't make any noise.
Yeah, especially when he's got to go to work on Sundays, when he has to get up at 3. When Tiny hears them, Tiny will start crowing, and it's back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Because he wants to get out. And I often think if we were to go let them out at 3 a.m, the hens would be like, "What in the hell are we doing, Tiny?"
If it was dark out,
it's always they do.
But so he'll get in there, but I don't think they really want to go out when it's dark. They are going to stay inside. He may wake up because he hears me walking around getting ready for work, and he'll cock-a-doodle-doo, but he usually does it from inside or right in the doorway of the chicken coop.
We always say that the hens are like, "Tiny, do we have to do this at 3 a.m?
Damn, bro, it's 4 a.m., you know? I mean, it's not even, go back to sleep, man. Go back to sleep, you know?
Hey, Colleen, so that's kind of like, hey, Neener, anybody that I missed, it's good to see y'all. So that's kind of where we're at, is like with that.
I saw that, Gigi. I saw a book on homesteading. We went to Tractor Supply today to get some stuff. We're not quite at that point. I mean, I would like to give that a go, but you know, I still work all the time, and
you have to be self-sufficient, right?
Well, and I'm saying that we couldn't do that completely, but I'd like to get to a point where we could do a lot of things where we wouldn't have to leave unless we really had to. And people that live way out in the country where it's an hour to get anywhere, that's what they try to do. They try to do what they can.
That's cool.
I mean, Walmart is now to the point that even the real rural areas have a Walmart and a CVS, but there was a time where it wasn't like that.
Yeah, they're tired. Look at them.
I know.
They're going night-night.
Well, we wanted to give you guys something other than like when we go live and we're not doing drama and people are like, well, what do they have to do? I mean, what's going on if, you know, we're in a drama community, and it's like, well, this is what we do.
And there's plenty of drama amongst the chickens. Right. They fight all the time.
Yeah. So we're thinking about getting some trail cams, and
we really are
mounting them around the nests in the areas like that, and taking footage, and then, you know, breaking the footage up and making that into a channel. I
think the most interesting thing to watch is the way at night they go into the coop. Tiny has a certain order that he allows them to go in, and they have to go in that order. And the younger ones are always the bottom of the totem pole, and he will not let them in there at all until he's ready. And they're not allowed to get on the roost at all. Not any level of the roost.
Nope.
His main hen, which is the Brahma right now, will be next to him. The 2 Americanas are on there too, right?
Yeah. The 4 big birds are on the roost.
Right. So the lower down, it's literally a pecking order.
Before we got the teenagers, you heard us talk about the teenagers. Those were the 2 other roosters that we rehomed. He let them go on the bottom rung.
Yeah.
When they got big. They weren't up with him, though.
But they were on, So the neighbor across the street had a bunch of hens, and he didn't have a good rooster. And since our 2 were bonded, they hatched together.
He wanted 2 roosters.
He wanted 2, and they get along and do whatever. But they, before that, when they first came in, they were about the age of the ones that are in the second coop. And we brought them in and we introduced them at night. And they got in there and they went and climbed up on the very top perch on the roost, the very top one. Tiny walked in there, looked back, looked whatever. He jumped up there and tossed him all the way across the chicken coop.
He tossed them across the chicken coop and said, I'm the boss.
They tried.
They get it. It's nature. The first time you see it, you think there's some kind of attack going on, or they're going to hurt each other. But it's just literally the term, the pecking order. That's where it comes from. It's from chickens.
Yeah. That's the other thing is when they get introduced, and we always introduce them in the evening because they're coming into the at night, and all of the doors will be shut so they can't like run off or whatever. When we put them in there, and it's been a couple that we've done it with, the chickens also do that. As the chickens, it doesn't matter whether they're male or female, as they walk in and they see one of the babies, the first thing they do is they nip it.
They peck it and try to move it along back to the nest. Yep.
And the babies all learn the way that it is. They have to establish like, okay, you're nothing right now. You are not big enough to be anything. So if you're like super, they don't hurt them, but it's pretty dramatic when they, especially when Tiny throws them off the perch. It's pretty dramatic.
He comes in there and you think he's being violent, but he's just letting them know you're not yet anything. Allowed to be here. It's like the throne or something like that.
And the roosters, as they got older, if they were, you know, doing their own thing, they always had to eat by themselves because they weren't old enough to come like intermingle. Gradually they did. But when they would come running around the corner and come face to face with Tiny, it was like that meme where the kid runs down the hall and then he goes, you know, that meme?
And goes back running the other way.
That's exactly what they would do. They would come running up and they'd be like, and then they'd run the other way to get away from him.
I mean, Tiny may be whatever, but he's big. He's a big rooster. So he kind of, when he walks up, everybody kind of watches how they act, kind of.
Yeah. And he's the final word, just like a dad. If the babies aren't doing, like, if they're not being able to be corralled by the adults, the hen will make a noise. Tiny will come, and when Tiny gets them, it's so interesting. We love watching the way they interact. It's hilarious. Yep. It's a whole little society.
Right, a true pecking order, exactly, Gigi. And so the terms that we hear in society, the pecking order, or they come home to roost, you know, like your bad behavior is going to come home to roost. You've heard that saying, you know. They always do. The cows come home at night. The chickens come home at night. Cows are the same way. They go back to the same, to the barn at night.
And if one doesn't come home, which I don't know that we've ever had that.
No.
But if one doesn't come home, you know something happened.
Something happened to it.
They don't never not come home.
Right. You know, if we're missing one, we're going to look for it. And maybe we'll find it trapped somewhere, but normally it's just like their clock in their head. It's starting to get dark. They go lay down. They go to sleep.
Yeah, it was pretty. The thing though, just like true teenagers, when those two roosters now they're adults, but we called them the teenagers when they were a little bit older than the ones we showed you out there. But they were like typical teenagers. If they heard someone, it could be pitch black. They'd come out into the courtyard ready to eat.
Yeah.
And it's night.
It's at night. Well, because we had the lights on. We had the courtyard lights on.
But they kind of have their clock all mixed up.
Yeah, they'd be like, there's the teenagers. They're coming out at night. And they'd look for a second.
They'd be late.
And then they'd go back to bed. But
yeah, it was cool. So I'm glad y'all I'm seeing a couple people saying they love the, like, we'll do this, like, especially as the summer comes on or whatever, we'll probably do some outside and
if we get the trail cams, if we get they're called trail cams because they're built and they're protected by hard plastic. They're just regular cameras, like
they have
video
outdoor,
cameras, but they're called trail cams because they're built in a hard plastic shell where they can get rained on, or they can be out in the woods and they can get knocked around and they still work.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to put some out there and see what happens.
And then it'll be cool because y'all, those of who get used to watching him, will be sending us DMs being like, Tiny's beating one up.
Hey, you guys better wake up. You guys got an armadillo running around out there. Whatever.
We do have an armadillo.
We do.
Yeah.
But it can't get in. It can't get anything.
I'm glad that you guys appreciated it. And that's kind of what our life is. Like, we don't have an extensive like interest except for each other and our animals.
Yep.
And that's kind of the way that
I mean, there was a time where it's like a lot of people that watch a lot of YouTube, they see the drama going on, or people talk about us, or they talk about other people, and it's hard to like not react to it, or it's hard to you run and go tell them, hey, this person, are you guys gonna? For us, it's really easy for us to ignore it because we've got a lot of different things that go on. When I'm not at work, we have the chickens, we have,
this
the
is
neighborhood.
the important stuff to us.
Yeah.
The other stuff is you guys, and this stuff is what we love.
So, I mean, it's like, that's why we say, when people say, we haven't seen it, or we're not worried about what's going on, it's because we're really doing other things, and we'll check in and hang out with y'all. But this is why we wanted to show y'all this, we wanted to show it to
do y'all get those notifications, those like CVS order confirmation? And you're like, I didn't order anything from there. We get them all the time. I guess is it like, they're all cons, right?
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Colleen was like, I was raised on a farm. Hard work, but worth it. It is. It is, and if it's
And to take good care of them, it is work. I mean, we clean it. We keep it clean. We have the same philosophy. Animals are 100% dependent when you have them in captivity on you. Like their well-being is completely dependent on you. So
you very sometimes you see a feral chicken, like every once in a while.
we try to catch them, and they're like, no,
you'll
no,
see
no,
one
no.
running around the Walmart parking lot because we're in the country.
He tried to catch him.
But chickens, for the most part, the flock, they're domesticated. They need, I mean, they're big, meaty birds, and they, you know, if there's a big old flock of them, the weakest ones will get picked off. So they depend on us to make sure they're safe.
Yep. And with that note, we're going to go put the babies back away.
Yeah.
If they'll let us. Actually, we call them the toddlers now.
They are the toddlers. Those are the babies, and the toddlers are outside.
The ones that you saw as tots. But thank you for hanging out with us.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, we will be back again soon, but we got it done. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.